was this Mustangs? Boo guy, everyone back to GTA 5, another downhill rally. First up, we have the Carbonizaire. I figured I should do a sports car. We've had a supercar, and we've had an off-roader. And a classic, sports classic, so I thought this would be a good place, another sports car. New class that hasn't been raced down here before. Then it will come in to its own later on with the other cars. Now, I've always liked the Carbonizaire. It's not the best sports class, not the best sports car in the game. However, I think it looks incredible, and I really like the convertible. The convertible and the coupe. It's a very good Grand Tour. Got quite sideways on that. The bumps, it does have an awful lot of problems with the dirt and with the bumps in general. Yeah, I think I was a little bit spoiled last week with the Valkyrie. Not the Valkyrie, that's the real life car. The Wagner. Because that was remarkably good off-road. This is not. This is exactly what I mean by out of its comfort zone. However, despite the difficulties, I was actually doing very well on this opening run. Got the braking point well, the bumps didn't cause too many problems. You just gotta do a little bit of throttle control so you don't spin out. Then you get some nice old air time. Very simple, you let off here because the bumps are vicious. Unfortunately, didn't quite let off enough and my car decided to balance on the cliff with 3 wheels. Yeah. That corner is really, really nasty. Now the Carbonizaire, it's an interesting vehicle. Because it's rear-wheel drive, so it doesn't have the greatest traction. And on dirt, it's even worse. However, once again, a sports car, completely undesigned for this, is faring pretty well down the circuit. Yeah, it's not as good as the Wagner, the Z-Type. However, it's still a Ferrari, basically, going down here. And yeah. And has some decent top speed. I got the braking spot on there. Especially latest you want to brake there. Got a big twitch going on and then I rolled it. First roll. Strangely it was not off curb. It was, I lost the back end and went tumbling over. Not my greatest bit of driving I've ever done. You know, after the first one I thought it'd be quite a breeze driving this car, given how quickly, so far down, I guess that's the terminology, and how close it was to the finish on the first run. But yeah, I guess I was just like a little bit of luck and a fair bit of skill, or vice versa. You can decide. But yeah, it was a little more difficult than I would think after that first run. That was very, very successful. I mean, it's still not bad. It's not the worst car I've ever driven. However, yeah, it took a fair bit longer than I thought it would, given the incredibleness, if that's a word, of the first run. This time we don't roll it, going down there. Then we fly to the high-speed section. This is where it excels. We slam on the brakes. A little bit of a slide, the back end started kicking out, I was able to recover it. A little bit of airtime in an unconventional place, but I was able to recover that as well. Now comes the really nasty corner, the nastiest corner on the track. Got quite an endo there, but we did recover it, heading up to the second to last curve. Coming around to the final bumpy corner, you guys manage to throttle, you just slide, and you are across the line with a jump. And then you bend it into a pole. But that is not the point. The Carbonizaire. Yeah, the GTA logic lives up to its name, as you can. My guy's very happy that he finished. He's just dancing around there. But, yeah. There we go. Carbonizaire has successfully made it down. Well, next up is a classic Grotti with the Grotti Turismo Classic. That's why I had this is going to be a Grotti episode only, because it's 2 new Grottis, and I wanted to see how they would fare down this course. And it's a rather capable vehicle, I would say. I really like the car. I own one of these. It's a Ferrari F40 in real life. But, which is why I own one, because I love the F40. It's one of my favorite cars in the world. Anyway, enough going about the real life car. This is a sports classic. So these are classic cars. And, well, they are quite fast, and their brakes are quite good, and their turning is also quite good. Unfortunately, I hit a bump, and, yeah, your turning is quite good until your front wheels are in the air, and then they're not so good. And, yeah, this vehicle is just really, really nice. Now, it does not have the added traction of the spoiler. The spoiler does actually add traction. One would think it would also add downforce along with it, but that is a completely different thing for when it comes to GTA, so we're just not going to get into the science of all that, because that takes a lot of explaining, and I don't feel like doing that. But, yeah, it does not get the spoiler from standard, unlike the LNG and the T20. Those do get spoilers from standard. There's also a few others, but yeah, I hit that a lot. There's lots of edited parts where I just clipped that curb on the inside, which launches your front end up. Not launches, but lifts it up enough that you can't turn, and then that tire bundle will collect many vehicles. Now, the Turismo, in the Turismo R, the one this car is based off, the successor to this, I guess, the supercar, was one of the first vehicles to be added to GTA Online. And, well, it's the cheapest supercar of a lot of them. That's actually relatively decent. So this has a lot to live up to. And, ironically, this is more expensive than the supercar. However, I'm not sure if it's faster than it. We might have to do that for another episode. But, in the meantime, we didn't hit that tire ball. We got very close, but we didn't. Because that bump, once again, this car, I think it's just this car, you know? I think that bump has claimed this car and says, you shall not take it away. Once again, we were very fast in the downhill dirt section. The tire bump actually helped us out there for once, by keeping us going in the right direction without losing too much speed. I mean, we shattered the rear window. However, we did actually manage to keep it. And through the extremely bumpy section, it's actually faring better than the sports car that preceded it, which is good. Heading up to the final corner, you gotta throttle control it, just so you can't die, and you're across the line without hitting that pole. So the only damage you've actually done to it is the rear window, which shows the engine. Very nice engine. However, the best thing about this car, it has kind of pop-up headlights. Look at them. Look at them, they're very nice. But, yeah. Quite a nice car. It's a lot nicer to drive, certainly around this course, than the Carbon Air, but overall, very solid. And finally, the last car of the day is the Grotti Cheetah Classic. Another vehicle that this was recently added in the latest update. They also brought us the parachuting game. I still can't remember the name of it. It's something Rumble, but Overtime Rumble, I think. I don't know. But anyway, this car, I absolutely love it. Yes, it costs more than both of the cars we've previously seen. However, it is also much better than most of the cars we have previously seen. First off, it looks exponentially better. Second off, it's very fast. And I quite like it. It's not worth the $870,000, $860,000. However, it is certainly a nice vehicle to drive, and on this dirt course, it fares really quite well. We did get very close to the trees there. Luckily the bushes in those trees are not as deadly as the other bushes. Got quite a slide from a bump. Got a big two-wheel moment. Got the most airtime of the day. I do tend to coast that section, just because then you don't get a big nightmarish jump like that. But we do land it all safely. Finish the second to last corner. Coming up to the final one is quite bumpy, quite nasty. And we do roll across the line. Yeah. I had to reach over and stop the timer, so I didn't quite sort out my landing correctly on that jump. Yeah, quite a nice car to drive, considering I did it on my first try, and I had one slight spin and then I rolled across the finish line. But, yeah, surprisingly nice to drive, considering it is a sports classic with a V12 in it. And, yeah, no problems with that at all. And our fastest car of the day, without any surprise, is the Carbonizer, which goes into second place. 2 seconds behind the Wagner with a 118.49. Followed up rather closely by the Turismo Classic with a 118.59, a tenth of a second slower. In third place, and rounding up the bottom of the table, is my favorite car to drive, but the slowest of today, with a 120.43, the Cheetah Classic, a car that I absolutely adore, but it just isn't that good. But that is it for this episode of GTA 5. I'll be back with more.